this is Mike Schott, Automation Product Specialist with Winkle Electric. I'm going to be talking about the new Compact GuardLogix 5380 controller with some compact 5000 I/O. This is the Compact GuardLogix 5380 controller, and on it we have some compact 5000 I/O. We have our 5069 IB16F digital input card and a 5069 OB16F digital output card. I'm going to be talking about some of the improvements that Rockwell has made with the 5380 system over the previous 5370 Compact Logix system and the 1769 series I/O cards. One of the first things you'll probably notice is that there's no integrated power supply. The 5370 controller required that power supply somewhere to the right of the controller, and that would power your controller and your I/O cards. With the new 5380 Compact Logix, you just put an external 24 volt DC power to these two terminals, and it's going to provide power to your controller and your I/O cards just the same, without the need for buying an extra power supply. Another thing you'll notice is the scrolling display on the top here. This is going to give you readable information from the controller, so you don't need to be connected to it to figure out some of the information that's going on in there. This is going to give you status information, fault information, and basic network settings. So one of the main benefits of this is you get your IP address as you see it scrolling there. You don't have to connect to it to figure out what IP address is set in there. Moving down here, we have your traditional USB programming port. It's the same that's going to be on the 5370. And if we open up our door, you'll see the SD card slot, your mode switch, and reset button. On the bottom here, we have improved gigabit Ethernet ports. There's two of them, and they can be configured for dual IP addresses. So if you want to have your controller on two separate networks at the same time, you can set one port for one IP address and the other port for a completely other IP address, and be connected to both networks at the same time. Now you can also set them for one IP address and use like a device level ring configuration or a linear configuration. Or if you just wanted to use one port, you can just use one port. Again, these are your power connectors, and these are going to power your controller and your I/O cards. Moving down here on your I/O cards, one improvement they've made here is there's removable terminal blocks on each one. They come in screw or spring terminal style. The indicator lights on each card are now lined up with the corresponding screw terminal. So if you are looking at an indicator light that's on, the screw terminal that's right next to it is going to be the one that's actuated. So you're no longer looking at the top for status indicators and figuring out which screw terminal it is down here. It's right next to it. You don't need to kind of look back and forth to figure it out. Another nice thing that Rockwell's done, they've provided some standard labeling across the top. So if you see there's the same type of label on each device here. There's a color stripe at the top, and in that color stripe it's going to give you the device, what it is, and the color stripe on the bottom is going to give you the full catalog number. So you'll see down the line, they're in the same place. You can just look at it. You can get the catalog number off it. You're not pulling it out of the rack to read a sticker that's on the side. So that's a nice improvement over the 5370. You'll notice the I/O cards are much narrower than previous I/O cards, so you're going to save a lot of cabinet space. That with the elimination of the power supply, and the entire system becomes a lot narrower than a comparable 5370 system.